Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your heads off.
How many of our ICE agents have been doxxed for doing their duty, how they have been targeted.
Welcome to Elected. I'm your host, Luke Radel, and we're continuing to follow the breaking news out of Los Angeles, California, where there have been rolling protests for the past several days, particularly in the downtown area of LA, over ICE immigration raids that have been happening at Home Depots there. And we have been seeing various elected officials giving briefings and press conferences in Los Angeles over the past few days, including this afternoon, Kristi Noem, friend of the show and enemy to animals everywhere, as well as the Secretary now of Homeland Security. She was on the ground there and was giving a press conference in Los Angeles, and California's one of their Democratic senators, Alex Padilla, decided to show up at the press conference and ask some questions of Secretary Noem, and it resulted in him being thrown to the ground, shoved out of the room, and detained, at least temporarily, for a period of time. I want to watch that video and react to it, in case you haven't seen it. This comes from Senator Padilla's office, actually.
Sir, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your heads off.
How many of our ICE agents have been doxxed.
And she's still talking in the background, too. She's
On the ground. On the ground. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you let my hands go, I stand behind my back.
All right. Cool. One hand. Lay flat.
They just put his face right in the ground.
Other hand, sir. Other hand.
There's no recording allowed out here. I do not know. There's no recording allowed out here per FBI, right?
No recording.
I'm sorry? There's no recording allowed out here.
Is that a thing?
That's my boss. I have to record everything allowed out here. You can record. There's no recording allowed.
Wow.
I'm not a member of the press. There's no recording allowed. I understand that's your foot.
That's wild. I honestly, so I've been to countless press conferences in my time, both as an invited member of the press and frankly as just a member of the public showing up. One of the key examples that this is bringing back negative memories of was about 5 years ago. I went to an event that was being held by Congresswoman Claudia Tenney, who then represented our area, and she did not want to answer my questions, and so she asked law enforcement to keep me off the premises of where she was having the event. And so they kept me off of kind of the private property, the parking lot. And then when she was walking over to a secondary event, I followed along because that was on a public area sidewalk, so I was able to follow along and ask her questions. And the police wasn't able to touch me. There were members of her staff that were trying to keep me away from her, and she was choosing to ignore my questions. But take a look at that.
Congresswoman, what's the message you hope to send by attending today's event? What's the message you intend to send by attending today's event?
Vote Republican.
Great. Do you believe that the coronavirus death toll is accurate? Do you believe that 200,000 people died from coronavirus?
Excuse me, if you want to join the media across the street, that's fine, but you're going to have to step away from the candidate. Thanks. Appreciate it.
This is public property.
I know.
Please don't touch me.
Please maintain a social distance from the candidate.
Members of the Republican Party, because they love our country.
Why did you delete your tweet? Don't stop touching me. You're touching me. Don't touch me. Do you believe the coronavirus death toll is accurate? Stop touching me. I'm not touching you. Stay right there. No. This is public property.
Escorted by our blue, our men in blue and women in blue, because we all back the blue.
So that's honestly the closest thing that I have ever seen to that. But I mean, there are demonstrators and hecklers and people who interrupt press conferences and public events being held by cabinet officials or politicians all the time. I've never seen someone treated in that forceful of a way. I've never seen them detained afterwards, because again, it's a public event and you're allowed to go and ask questions. That's why the press conference is a thing, and certainly not for a United States senator to be treated that way. That is a new and shocking territory to be in. I understand there are reports that Secretary Noem is meeting privately with Senator Padilla now to discuss his concerns, but it almost seems like you shouldn't have to meet with him privately. You should have just taken his question in public. There was also a video from shortly after he was detained. A reporter, because you have to ask about it. A reporter finally asked the secretary about it, and here was her response to what had happened.
Oh, you know what? I don't even know the senator. He did not request a meeting with me or to speak with me. So when I leave here, I'll have a conversation with him and visit and find out really what his concerns were. I think everybody in America would agree that that wasn't appropriate.
The other element to this, too, a reporter for CNN points out that Senator Padilla was in a government building and would have had to gone through metal detectors to verify that he was unarmed. The action prompting his removal was asking a question and disrupting a press conference, and he had identified himself as a senator. So I am stunned that this is where we're at right now. It's been terrifying watching what's been coming out of Los Angeles. The fact that they're deploying National Guard and active duty Marines to quell protests. The videos that we've seen of journalists being shot by rubber bullets, in one case with the Australian reporter in a way that almost looked intentional. This is scary stuff. And it's the kind of thing that if you had said it 6 months ago, 7 months ago during the campaign, you would have been called, a fearmonger or all the rest of it. This is not how we do things in this country. You're allowed to have a freedom to protest and to go and to ask questions, especially as a United States senator. So scary times, and hopefully there will be an appropriate amount of blowback to all of this. But we will continue to have breaking news coverage of all the latest. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the notification bell to know when more stuff like this is happening. You can also follow me on Twitter @LukeRadel. Thanks for watching.